Hi, I'm Ian Corzine, your social media lawyer, and I'm coming to you live on a Saturday morning. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite pastimes, and that is NFTs. I'm going to talk to you about some of the future technology relating to NFT, relating to gaming. And so I'm really kind of excited to talk about it. Let me just make sure I'm online here. Okay, we're good to go. Let me switch my angle here too. Okay, good. Yeah, so what I want to talk about is gamers as NFTs. There's an article in Medium, that talks about the next big thing in crypto and what the strategy is going forward. And I'm really excited to talk about it. Here's the article right here. Again, it says gamers as NFTs, the next big thing in crypto, and what our company's strategy is. So it's really interesting to me. It says here, we humans are the ultimate NFTs, and the tokenization of our digital identities will be one of blockchain technology's biggest impact on the way we exchange value. I thought this would be kind of, when I heard about this article and read about it, I was thinking that this is kind of like the new world of fantasy football. This is not physically owning people, but it's actually trading the digital identities of people, just like you might do when you're playing fantasy football. Sometimes you own the quarterback for the 49ers, and so you want to trade him to another person, and you just basically govern how you win, how you lose based upon the quarterback's stats. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. It says Facebook user. I don't know who that is, but welcome. So we're talking about that now. And the article continues to go on right here where it says, I've been thinking a lot about how I can monetize playing video games for myself and the other 3 billion gamers around the world when a novel concept came to mind. What if you could buy and trade gamers and use them as assets to generate revenue? So what this really is this gentleman owns a company that is called, I think it's Powerboard GG. And what basically it involves is you sign up, and then you sign up for the various video games that you play, and then you're on a rolling leaderboard. You guys compete online to get the high score. And then overall, when as time passes, they're going to incorporate this ability to get rewards for your scores. And what's kind of cool about it is that you can actually make these tokens. He talks about the different tokens on this power board. There's different types. Let's just make sure I'm saying it right. He says here, yeah, so there is what's called a power token and a GG token. So the GG token is something that you use to actually enter the tournaments. And then the power token is the thing that you actually win for getting high scores on tournaments. Hey, Josu, good to see you. Is always first, changed my mind. Thank you. Good morning, Kristen. How are you? And then Diana's here too. Happy Saturday to you. So what we're again, I'll take you to the article again here. Let's see. I want to show you this portion right here. It says that the purpose of Powerboard NFT is to grant the holder of the right to use the game data it generates to enter tournaments and generate value from that performance. We understand that the titles gamers play are constantly changing. The accounts and games minted on a player's profile may not be around the next few years, and updating a smart contract is incredibly tricky. That's really where my interest comes to play, is I really like the smart contract part of non-fungible tokens. There are so many different, dissertations, different ways to be able to, change the contractual relationship between you and, in this case, a video game player. It's very exciting to me. So it says here, our proposal to make sure that a player's stats and games are always up to date is that we mint each player as a contract, 1155 contract, and create a separate ERC token that represents their account for the game. And so what that means is that separate tokens are created per player that player can hold and actually gain value on, or that the player can trade, or someone as an investor could help a video game player move up the power boards by investing in this particular video game player, and then he can make some revenue and the video game player can make some revenue for video game players. All right, hey, Arun's here, good to see you. And let's see, Trent Hedgehog, good to see you. What's up, dude? Michael's here. He's here instead of Facebook. Thanks so much. And Ron's here. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well too. Let's see. We also have Home Dad. Good evening, guys, from the Philippines. Good evening, Home Dad. So yeah, that is what we're going to be talking about today, and I want to talk about also kind of the future of what I see. And what a lot of times NFTs get maybe a bad rap because people are thinking about NFTs as merely art. And you hear about the Beeple, graphical art that sold for $69 million, and people are trying to get rich quick and all these things, but that really just begin to touch what the power of non-fungible tokens is, and that is the ability to circumvent the establishment and be able to do individual deals between you and other people or groups of people, and on a percentage basis. So it really actually helps people who are just starting out. There's a lot of discussion about various artists that are starting out now, and then they are selling a portion, an ownership portion of part of their art. So they will continue to make revenue as that art trades hands or switches hands, but the actual owners will also get a percentage too. So I see it as a great opportunity to be able to have less litigation, less court disputes, because it's all automatic. You set up your NFT with a smart contract to have that contract in place automatically. So when, let's say you were selling an art piece and you wanted to sell it to someone, you sold them 20%. Well, you are going to continue to get that 60% or that 80% revenue no matter what, whoever owns it over time. And as it gains value, it may gain value to you. Before, in the past, everything was done with a physical contract. You had to sign up with a broker or a dealer or some sort of investor, and it was up to them to actually pay you the money that you were owed under the contract. Now, this stuff happens automatically on the blockchain. So it is much larger than just like, oh my gosh, is this a bubble? Is this a trend that's going to go away? Is this just a fad? Because there's some big dollars that you've seen in the headlines. It's way, way bigger than that. Rafi Music's here. Diana has a question. This is an interesting topic to me. I love the video you did about accepting cryptocurrency as payment. Thanks, Diana. Yeah, that is exactly the plan for me going forward in my businesses. I believe that it's a very safe way to do business. It's also a very quick way. There's a lot of discussion about, oh my gosh, it may take, an hour to process a Bitcoin or Ethereum transaction. And really my experience is it doesn't take that long. It takes, 10 minutes or so. And for large value purchases, I don't mind. I mean, shoot, if someone is buying a Tesla with Bitcoin, it's okay if it takes a couple hours to change hands, especially if you're just going to completely circumvent the financial institutions that take their piece of it. So I like it. I also like the ability that it gives people who have cryptocurrency and maybe a little bit more privacy. They can, buy your product or service and not have to disclose it to everybody in their mother. So I really like that portion too. And the other part is I'm viewing it as a very secure purchase. The one problem that exists right now, and I'm hoping it'll be solved in July, is that with Ethereum, especially the gas fees, the fees that you pay to actually do the transaction are really high. And sometimes they can be hundreds of dollars per transaction. So a lot of people are holding because they want to increase the value of their cryptocurrency, but they're also holding because they don't want to pay these huge fees. They're kind of waiting for that transaction. If they want to sell Ethereum, they're going to sell $5,000 worth of it. They're not going to sell 100 and, get $20 or $30 gas fees eaten up. So yeah, it's very exciting. All right. We have Multish. NFTs are non-fungible tokens. That's exactly right. And so what that means is they are a particular type of code that exists on various blockchains. The most popular is Ethereum. And basically there's two different types of NFTs. There's the scarce NFTs and the unique NFTs. Unique are issuance of computer code. It could be anything. It could be music. It could be pictures. It could be sound, graphic art, photographs, whatever it is, digitized. And no one else besides yourself, the owner of an NFT, can own that specific NFT. And then there's other types of examples of NFTs which are scarce, where maybe there is a limited edition of Kobe Bryant, shooting a basket type NFTs. And so there's only 10 made. So you own one of 10. So it's very similar to, I always think of sports trading cards. There are limited editions of those cards, and there are limited editions of some of the NFTs. And if you happen to possess one of the unique ones that goes up in value, that's awesome because you're kind of locked in. In the past, you'd have to find a dealer, you'd have to go to a show, you'd have to do, somehow, negotiate. These days, for the most part, everything happens on auction platforms like Rarible, OpenSea, and others. And so you can actually do everything online and trade, your stuff or sell your stuff or buy your stuff or mint your stuff. Really easy to mint your own NFTs. All right, so we have Anthony Goodley says, I tried 5 years ago to get my boss to accept BTC. He refused. We would both be rich now if he'd only listened. I absolutely agree, Anthony. It is so true. Back then, we just weren't sophisticated enough. And I will say this, even today, it is still quite a chore to get involved in the cryptocurrency space. Now, Coinbase has made it much easier by being able to you can hook up your bank account and you can transfer USD and then you can do the conversion, but it's only for limited amounts of cryptocurrency. If you're going to do anything other than the big ones, then you have to go, and a lot of times you have to get a different wallet. You have to go to a cryptocurrency exchange, and you have to kind of take some risks because you put out the money and then you hope it comes back. So it's still not mainstream, but can you imagine what's going to happen when Bitcoin, Ethereum, Uniswap, all the different cryptocurrencies are mainstream? In other words, you could just tell your bank, maybe you go online and you say, just convert this USD to, Bitcoin or to Ethereum. And it'll happen in a few moments. What is going to happen then when it is mainstream? And also think about these possibilities. A lot of us are in America or more, civilized countries, Australia or England or something like that, Spain. But what if you're in one of the third world countries where it's up and down, your currency values are up and down? Wouldn't this provide you with some solace if you're able to hold a universal global currency, for the entire universe, and not have to worry so much about its value going up and down, and in this case, maybe going up at a rapid pace. So there's a lot of value to it. Let's see. We got a question from Diana. Do you think the government here in the U.S. is going to find a way to apply taxes? Well, they already have. The bottom line is, right now, I believe as of 2019, in your federal income tax returns, there is a question that says, did you buy or sell cryptocurrency in the past year? So yeah, I think they're going to find a way. Absolutely. But I also think that the government can never stop this trend because it's just too cool. The reason why I say that is not only because there's this, perceived kind of privacy that goes around it, but also because of the fact that a lot of these blockchains that have tokens also have the capabilities of smart contracts, like we talked about with this example of the gaming example, where there's creating of tokens on an actual blockchain that have value. I'm envisioning this in the future. I'm a lawyer. Right now, when I do contracts, retainer agreements for my services, it's all paper. It's digitized. They sign a DocuSign document, but in the future, it's just going to be accepted on the blockchain. Everything is going to exist there, and it's going to be rock solid. There's going to be no dispute that the person who signed that contract was the person that I did the retainer for. It's not going to be a situation where someone says, "Oh, I didn't sign it. That was my mom," or whatever. So that's going to be amazing. There's going to be individualized insurance contracts so that they're going to be written specifically for the insureds. And the insureds are going to be specifically identified, personally identified in that insurance contract. There's going to be no dispute who is insured, who is part of the family at the time the insurance contract was placed. What's that going to do? Well, it's going to help insurance companies, but through competition, it's actually going to decrease the cost of insurance because the insurance companies are going to have less risk. They're going to know exactly what they're insuring or who they're insuring and who they're not. So let's make sure we got more questions coming up. We got that one on? All right, good. We got here, Red Pill Vegan says LYPO market token, LMT, licensed NFTs, game bazaar partnership. Watch what's coming. Yeah, I don't exactly know what that means, but I don't know if it's an advertisement, but thank you so much. We got Coral T, nice to see you. Hello, Ian, nice to join the stream. Thanks for Coral. Good to see you too. Let me make sure I missed anything else. And then we got Home Dad. Yeah, I agree. Crypto payment is fast and easy. Yeah, I have never had a problem with crypto payment. And it says here, Amal has a question. I don't see the question, so put it up there. Oh, there it is. See, Amal says, can I trick copyright by editing the video like changing the pitch? So we're going to switch gears a little bit and answer Amal's question, move away from crypto for a moment. You can trick the various social media platforms AI. But I will say this, that especially when it comes to YouTube, the AI is getting so amazingly good that even if you speed it up to like 125% or something like that, it will pick it up. It's actually identifying specific sounds regardless of pitch in the audio. And I will say that when you are doing videos on YouTube and you're using third-party content, that is the first analysis of YouTube is the audio. So what I try to do, I give advice to people. What I try to do when I need third-party content, let's say I need a video frame, I actually mute the audio and I put in royalty-free sound effects. And oftentimes it looks just fine and sounds just fine. And I never have a problem that way. So that's one of those little tricks there. Let's go over here. Let's see. Carl says, Ian, you're awesome. I love the live streams. Great, Carl, because I love them too, and I'm going to continue with them. It's really fun for me. All right. Mr. Mindworks, how do you get set up on your YouTube channel to accept crypto or NFT, please? Oh, interesting. I love this. Well, right now, you can't accept it from your YouTube channel, but what you can do, of course, is you can have an address, your wallet address, and you can provide that to people who want to do business for you. There's also some various crypto platforms. I'd encourage you to watch one of my most recent videos that I think Diana was referring to about how to accept crypto for payment of your services. What I can do is I can put it in when I have a moment in the chat so you can directly link to it, but it actually teaches you the exact way to do that. There's a number of different exchanges, or what would I say? I guess payment processors that you can actually, it's so cool. You can actually put the little graphic box down onto your website, and then you click, then the purchaser clicks on it, and then they actually can pay in whatever crypto they want. I mean, it's like so many different types, Nexo and Ethereum and all those. So that's the easiest way. Yeah, look at that video that came out a couple weeks ago. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. This is going back to that, copyright question. You can't trick YouTube. Yeah. That's kind of what I said. Let's see. Coral T says, sorry if it is relevant, but an MCN intends to sue me, accusing me of slandering over a Reddit post. Would they succeed? My goodness gracious. Well, it depends on so many different things. One of the things is, where is the, MCN, venued? Are they in a different country? How much is involved in the dispute? In other words, is it going to make financial sense for the MCN to actually sue you? And I will tell you that the amount in controversy has got to exceed $50,000, $100,000 for it to make financial sense to get a lawyer on board. So it probably is a mere threat, unless this truly is a situation where they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages, and they're intent upon bringing a case in your home country, dragging you in with personal jurisdiction, and actually getting a decision in the dispute. I'm sorry, Coral T, you're going through that. If you would like to contact me offline, be sure to go to iancorzine.com. You certainly can send me an email, or also you can set up an online consult by clicking in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll see, you just jump on my calendar, and it's real easy. All right, so we're looking at, okay, let me just make sure we're doing this. Nice stream. Okay, good. So I do want to get back to talking about crypto, because I think what I was thinking about was NFTs and ownership for YouTube creators. I mean, think about this. What we've just talked about in this article is right over here, the title, Gamers as NFTs. Well, what if we were able to do YouTubers as NFTs? You know, one of the things we do on YouTube is we struggle for views and subscribers, and we want to build that audience, and YouTube does a great job of helping us with that. But we also got to make a living, right? I mean, we got to be able to have a product or service or a second job. In my case, I have a second business that I work on a day-to-day basis. And so, because, we don't make enough, even if you're a really large creator, I mean, it's hard to make enough on AdSense to make it work. But what if you had an idea for a YouTube channel, or for, frankly, a Rumble channel, or any kind of channel? What if you had that idea and you talked to someone else and you said, hey, would you partner with me? You know what? I need a camera, I need a computer, I need a couple of different things for this idea. How about you buy that? And then as a result, you're going to get a percentage ownership of my YouTube channel. And it could not only just be AdSense, but it could also be revenues coming in from consults or merch or whatever. What if you did that and then you set it all up as a non-fungible token or on the NFT system, and have smart contracts that handle all the stuff, whether it be the merch, whether it be the consults, whether it be the AdSense revenue? Everything is trained in through a smart contract on the blockchain. It's unhackable. And what automatically happens is crypto appears in your account and your investor's account automatically. There's no such thing where the guy who invested and you said, hey, listen, I spent $5,000 on you. I didn't see the most recent payment from merch, from AdSense, from whatever else you're selling. In this situation, if you had a smart contract set up, it just happens automatically, and there's no dispute. If the guy wants an audit, he doesn't even need one because he's seen the smart contract and he knows how it's set up. So I could see smart contracts, NFTs, in the future being huge. And then the other thing also, and I think you've probably seen this, is Mr. Beast has recently talked about investing in YouTuber channels. He wants to almost be his own MCN. Well, you could almost be your own MCN without all the people to manage the thing. You could actually just say, listen, if you see some up and coming YouTubers, I want to be a partner in your channel. Let's set up a smart contract on the blockchain, Ethereum or whatever, and let's have it automatically, I give you this value and you give me this value. So I really think it could be something that creators could use to help themselves. So let's see here. Let's see if we got more questions. Oh, we got this one. Oh, we got some more algorithm questions. Oh, we got Miss Muggs. Hello, Ian Corzine. Hello, Miss Muggs. Good to see you. Okay, so here let's go on to Mr. Mindworks. So if somebody probably sent you a limited edition item or image, and then all of a sudden decides that they want to make more of it after the limited edition amount has been sent, what recourse is there? Well, I know what you're saying. That is, we've yet to determine how courts are going to handle these disputes. But arguably, as far as I understand it, the NFT that was originally created as a unique NFT would have certain coding to say that it is unique. In other words, it is identified as being the number one, the one and only in the world. And so if you ever tried to make subsequent copies of that, it's going in the code of the other NFTs that are mere copies, it's going to say that, oh, these are subsequent copies. So I don't think that that's going to be a problem in the future because the one that's going to be valuable is going to be the original. And this goes down to a discussion about, graphic art in general. A lot of people are like, dude, okay, you buy this Beeple graphic art for $1 million, if you had $1 million, and it is merely a beautiful piece of graphic art, but someone could screenshot it, right? And that's not the point. And that's what I'm trying to get through people who are interested in this space is that the point is the ownership of the NFT. It is the emotional value that comes with being that owner. It is the ability at any given time to be able to put that in an auction and make it a store of value that's mobile. I mean, in the old days, we had stores of value. Lots of rich people would buy famous paintings and they hang them on their walls, and that's storing value, or they put it in a safe. Well, now you can put a store of value in the cloud, in the computer landscape, in the universe. And that is going to be a great way to be able to store value in various ways. So let's say you have, $100 in gold, you have $100 in Bitcoin, and then you have $100 NFT. It's a great way to store that value. So the coding is going to stop that from happening. All right, so let's see here. We have Mr. Dapper Foxtrot. I really love that avatar image. It's amazing. As in offering someone an NFT as a guaranteed share of your organization. Absolutely. That's another thing. We have to understand that it's not just crypto. Crypto is fungible tokens. That is that they're the same and they can be exchanged. So certainly we could always pay crypto. I know we're going to be paying crypto for houses in the very near future. Certainly it's already happening with cars, but we could also trade for value, whether it be a service or maybe it could even be like you said, a house or something like that for an NFT, because these NFTs are going to have set value. Now, it's going to be up and down. It'll be a risk that the person will have to take, but I don't think it's going to be a risk that doesn't exist with any other type of digitization or art form. I mean, maybe Michael Jackson's songs in the past were worth this, but maybe they're worth this now. So it's really the same type of risk you take whenever you own art. And we're really moving into this time period here where us creators out there who are doing videos and podcasts and all these things, we're going to be the controllers. It's this NFT and blockchain is putting this power in our hands, not in the hands of the gatekeepers. And so that's what's so exciting about this. Yes. All right, so let's see. We got it here. Oh, Matthew Frazier here from Craig. Craig's Tech Talk. Awesome. I'm going to go visit Craig later on. Craig Polson is one of my good friends, and he just hit 100,000 subscribers. He's doing a live stream right now. He's giving out a bunch of money, so please, if you want to get out of this one and go over there, it's Craig's Tech Talk is the YouTube channel. I'm going to be joining later on because I want to check him out and say congratulations. Craig dispatched the army. Neekster man, thank you so much for joining. That's awesome. I'm so happy for Craig. Oh, look at it. We got Grandma Hates Tech. I know, Grandma, that you are a big fan of Craig. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to be joining Craig in a few. It's great to see you. Let's see. Carl Stenbeck, give a thumbs up, everyone. Thank you if you would. And if you like this type of content where, if you don't know me already, I'm Ian Corzine. I'm a social media lawyer. So what does that mean? It means that I'm one of the few guys out there who has done litigation in court, federal court, and state court for 20 years. And I've represented both in the intellectual property, the insurance, the business space. And so about 2.5 years ago, I decided to be able to kind of form this firm, this partnership where I'm able to give advice on the actual social media platforms and the issues that concern creators. So one of them is getting paid. That's why I'm so excited about NFTs and crypto, is I want creators to get paid. It's time for them to get paid, not just exist on pennies from various social media platforms, which, by the way, is going to go away at some time. We are seeing the larger social media platforms like YouTube, certainly Instagram, with their algorithm changes and also with their partnerships with, mass media. I think they're going to be at some time either reducing the share or taking it away in general. So we're going to have to find a way when we just give value, when you talk about how good Call of Duty is and you help people find their way through the video game, that has value. And that's why I really like this whole crypto thing, because you're right. Crypto tips. You could charge. We could do super chat crypto on your website. So there's a lot of value there. So if you like this kind of content, give me a thumbs up. That really helps with the algorithm, and also subscribe if you would. I do this kind of content all the time. I advise you on various social media platform issues, as well as I'm getting into this NFT. It's kind of my new hobby. Matthew Frazier. We got Trumpets Blair. Okay, now we got a good one. Christian Nation. It says, how will NFTs work for books, children books, and textbooks? I think it'll work amazing. I think it's going to be it's going to be a revolution in getting content out there to our kids. And you'll see in my videos, I'm a big supporter of the First Amendment. I really believe that subject to imminent danger and harm, subject to time, place, and manner, because I don't want kids doing a riot or doing a demonstration in the middle of class, but they can do that demonstration just at the sufficient time. But subject to those exceptions, say anything and have access to anything, because I believe that all of us are intelligent enough to be able to determine what is good stuff for us and what is bad stuff for us. So I believe that what's so good about the future for blockchain technology is that all books, all knowledge will exist on the blockchain. There will be no limits to access of books. And I don't just mean in countries that maybe have stronger first or free speech rights. So I'm thinking about America. I'm thinking about other countries out there, maybe Germany and England, which have some stronger free speech type laws. There's a lot of countries, if not, I want to say absolutely, most of the countries don't have as much free speech. So with the blockchain, putting out knowledge for everyone is accessible by everyone, and it's private, right? So you can access these books in a private way. So I think it's going to be great. I think it's also going to be a way to balance access to information. In the old days, especially when I was going to law school and going to college, buying books was a big deal. And there was a gatekeeper. You had to go to the bookstore and you had to spend over $1,000. Back then, that $1,000 was even more than it is now. Nowadays, I feel that even if you go to college, there's going to be no barrier. The information is there. And what people will do is, you might say, well, shoot, I want to get paid for my book. But what people will do is they'll be paid for their ideas. They'll be paid. What your job will be is not so much holding this intellectual property, but your job will be dispensing with new creations. And actually, this is going to encourage more and more people to give more better and intellectual and creative ideas. So I think it's going to be absolutely great for all information out there. Craig is here. Nice. Let's see here. We got from Marla. Hi, Ian. I hope you're well. Could you also do a live about the article I recently read about YouTubers requiring to pay taxes in the US? I'll save my questions when you do a live about that. Well, Marla, you are in luck because I did a full video on that. Let's see. You know what we can do? Can we do it here? I guess we can. Let me see if I can load it up on YouTube. I don't want to save to. Sorry for the delay, but I'm going to pull that up so you can see it here. Taxes, Ian Corzine. See if that works. Yeah, so we have a video right here.
Hi, I'm Ian Corzine, your social media lawyer. I just got done with another consult with another creator about YouTube's new tax system. I got to tell you,
so if you want to look at this video, just type in Lawyer Explains New YouTube Tax Changes 2021. And then I'm happy to do a live stream about it too to answer your questions because it does depend on what country you're in. So check that video out. All right. Now we got a basic question. What is NFT? I am native. So, all right. So NFT, of course, I'll move this back to the screen here. NFT is a non-fungible token. Generally, they are unique or scarce. They exist on the blockchain. They're a way to code, they're a way to digitize art or frankly, anything, documents. And it's a great way to exchange things privately, quickly, and in a guaranteed manner. So in the future, bills will be paid on the blockchain. It will happen automatically if you want it to. Contracts will happen. It'll be great for lawyers. This is what I'm so excited about. Right now, I recently was doing a real estate transaction and there's all these documents. My goodness gracious. Certainly we can still review text on the computer, but I can tell you it can happen at the speed of light if it was on the blockchain, and it's unhackable. Think about medical records. Right now, most of your medical records have your date of birth, have your social security number, or whatever your country's ID number is, and they're hackable. They're digitized as a PDF, but they're capable of being infiltrated. What if that just didn't happen? Because how the blockchain works. So that is what an NFT is. Now, the big hype that we hear a lot about now is, of course, that NFTs are art, and certainly there is graphic art. There's the Beeple discussion. There is the CryptoPunks discussion. There are these various different types of art out there that people can buy and sell and trade. But that's just the very beginning of this revolution, of this evolution. So I had a comment earlier on about, buying and selling, people in a crypto exchange or whatever. That's just not going to happen. But digitization of your value could happen. So conceivably, I could give away some percentage of any value that I derive being a social media lawyer. Someone could invest in me and I could sell them 10% of my revenues. And by the way, it happens automatically. So it's a great way to be able to do transactions and be able to sell creative works online. All right, so here we go. Dapper Foxtrot, Ian's videos really helped me understand legal transformation. So I'm changing music I love and iterating it on and to make it permissible in videos. You're a champion. Thank you for what you do, bud. Dapper Foxtrot, thank you for what you do, which is putting further art out there. Let's encourage people to not just think about creating art, doing, podcasts or doing audios, going on Clubhouse, doing videos, whatever it is. Let's tell them to do it because we all want them to. There is right now a little bit of a barrier out there because of being, the threat of being canceled or something. But I think as many people as we can, as many voices as we can get out there, I want. Because we need to hear those ideas. We need to see your creations. We don't need it hidden behind, some house or something. All right, so we got Ron. Sorry I can't stay, but I watched the entire video later. Thank you so much, Ron, for joining us. No worries. And we got Keo Ultimate Facepalm. You rock. Well, you rock too, because you're here learning about crypto and NFTs. We got a call. We got a question from Kristen Nation. Oh, geez. Absolutely. See, some of you might be like, oh my gosh, Ian, NFTs and the blockchain is just more work for you. And yeah, it is. And it's more work for CPAs. Yeah, of course. Not only is there the basics of a CPA relationship, like your contract with the CPA could all be on a blockchain, all private, but there's going to be a lot of tax issues that come up, right? The governments in the world are not going to just let these things float out there and no one pay taxes. So the CPAs are going to have to be involved in figuring out creative ways to reduce your tax burden and to make sure you're complying with your country or your county or your city's law. So I think this is nothing but absolute good news for CPAs. I think CPAs should start charging crypto for their fees. I think it's absolutely great. Right now, it's much easier to put your money into crypto than it would be in a savings account, because you're going to be able to generally, and I'm not not a financial advisor, I'm a legal advisor, but what I've seen from my experience and other people is if you put your money into some good crypto, you're going to get a better exchange on your investment. So that's a great thing for a CPA to do, to be able to make some money that way. There's a little bit of risk, but at least they can do that. So I think it's unbelievable for CPAs. We got online. My greatest concern is still that cryptos and NFTs will be outright banned by governments despite it being decentralized like in China. Can you explain why that won't or can't happen? Well, it can't happen because the era of DeFi is absolutely here. It would be like trying to squash, a million gophers coming up from their holes. A government just couldn't move that fast. We've already seen it in other subjects that I talk about, like COPPA and some of the other online laws that have come up. These laws were based back in 1996 and 1998. We're light years ahead of that. So any laws that we pass would just be redundant and superficial because people would just adopt. There's already cryptocurrencies like Dash, which are allegedly completely private. So it can't be stopped, I don't believe. Now, what I think that is the point is that there is some risk in the future as the government asking you questions about your cryptocurrency. And so you're going to have to speak to your CPA or your other financial advisor about that. But I don't think that there would be any way. Frankly, I don't think it's in the government's interest to substantially limit or turn off the ability to work in crypto. The reason for that is that it's cash flow. People forget there's a lot of people out there who invested in Bitcoin when it was like $7,000 in March of 2020, and now have just sold it. They've sold it. And so they've made, I don't know what, I think it's 57 now, made a $50,000 profit. Well, and they converted it to USD or some other mainstream currency. What are they going to do with that? They're going to invest it in the economy. So it's almost a great balancer too. If you were a government economic advisor, I think that you would be absolutely foolish to attempt to kill these transactions, because it's one of the main reasons why some economies are doing really well right now, especially that in America. So I don't think it would ever happen. Okay. Marla says, great. I just read it a few days ago. We'll check your vid about it. Yeah. Read it or watch the video. I explain everything in detail. All right. So we got Diana again. Question. So if you're selling digital products like PDFs and video courses, could you protect your content better by creating them on the blockchain? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you create I'm going to come out with a video soon about how to do this, but if you can create documents as an NFT, then you can control each and every person who has access to that NFT. Now, it depends on the exact type of art you're getting out there, because I could see someone screenshotting a PDF and getting it out there. But there are certain things that can be done with NFTs that trigger removal of access to that. So a good example is maybe you sell an online course and it comes with course materials. Well, there's certain things that can be done where the person who accesses the course materials then tries to screenshot it, but then it disappears. obviously you give a warning that if you try to screenshot this, it's going to disappear. But those are things that are built into smart contracts. So it's going to be better for all of us online marketers because we're going to better control our products, and it's going to be more fair for everybody in general. We're not going to have as much copyright infringement out there. And I think the other thing is it's going to be a more honest system because people are going to know right up front that if you steal my copyrighted content, that you're going to lose the ability to access it. So I absolutely believe that that's going to be the future. I'm going to do it. There's no question in my mind that I'm going to do it. So let's see, here we go on Dapper Foxtrot. If I go with this, I'll be a good boy and claim my income. Yeah, exactly. All right. So Anthony Goodley says, so I have some artwork I created that I'd like to apply for registered copyright, but there are countless variations inherent in this design. Is there any way to cover all those variations in one filing? Well, you can file, if you're in America, I can't remember if Anthony's in America or not, I forgot. But if at least you're in America, you can file up to 10 different copyrighted pieces of art, we call it in the legal field, in one filing. And I think it's going for $95 to do that. So it is easy to do that. Now, if there's, I think you said countless, so that would be difficult. Yeah, copyright is an interesting area. You need to actually copyright that the actual thing that you want copyrighted. You can't do it like in patents. Of course, you can patent an idea, and you can have variations that stem from that, and then protect that intellectual property. And copyright has to be the exact thing. So in your situation, countless variations, probably not. But this moves into our discussion about NFTs and the blockchain, and that is that at some point in time, maybe we won't need copyright registration. Maybe we won't need the government to guard our property for us. Maybe because we'll set it up in a smart contract, no one can access it in any way unless we want them to. So I'm thinking that in the future, certainly now, if you need to copyright your art, your pictures, your photographs, your sounds, whatever, go ahead and do that at copyright.gov if you're in America. But in the near future, within years, it's just moving to blockchain. It's just moving to NFTs. We're seeing albums by famous artists come out only as NFTs. All right, Type 1 Talks. Hi, Ian. Thank you for your advice on the copyright strike the other time. The consult with you really helped put my mind at ease. I'm so glad the strike has now been removed. Thank you, my friend. Type 1 Talks, thank you so much for joining us on this live stream. And also thank you for thanking me publicly. It means a lot to me. We did a consult a couple weeks back, and we talked about the various things that could be done to get a copyright strike off your account. Type 1 Talks is doing a killer channel right now. It's unbelievable health advice. And there's a rash now of fraudulent copyright strikes. Some people are even calling them trademark strikes, which don't exist out there. And we discussed the issue. We came up with a course of action, and then luckily his strike was removed. So his channel's back in good standing. All right, so now we're back at Amal Krishna. Can you say some new niches for YouTube for me? I'm 16. Well, that's awesome. Especially niches which no need to show face or voice. Which is the latest in your country? I'm from India, and you are so just. I think that emoji means cool. So thank you, Amal. Well, I got to tell you, I saw a recent video. I'm blanking. Her name is Annie. I'll have to put that up in the chat. But she was doing a video about how to get 5,000 views in a week, and it was cool. The bottom line is she did a compilation channel. So it was a famous TV show, and I think she did 108 moments from this TV show, and it went from 0 to 5,000 views in a week. So again, review content, funny content, children's content, frankly, are the best performing on YouTube. Now, review content is where I spend a lot of my time with creators, because review content involves generally taking someone else's work without their permission and then putting it online, which is, again, something we've been doing since 2002. But nonetheless, copyright law has been catching up. So while review channels are a good niche area, you have to use the principles of fair use. And I've spent countless time making videos on that. So go to my channel, Amal, if you want more information on fair use and how to use other people's content legally. We could talk about that later. All right, we got Spencer Smith. Hi, Ian. Your channel has helped me a lot. I just wanted to jump on here and let you know. Thank you so much for what you do. You are appreciated. Well, Spencer, thank you so much for what you do. I'm so glad your channel is doing well and that you're benefiting from some of the guidance I give. It's the question. I've been able to make several documentaries with your guidance on copyright and have had no problems with copyright. Thank you for showing us how to do it properly. Well, thank you, Spencer. I really appreciate that. We're moving on to, we're doing copyright strikes now. Hi, Ian. What if I get copyright strike wrongly? Well, that happens quite a bit. There's a couple things you can do. You can do an appeal immediately to YouTube. The other thing you can do is do a counter notification, which is, again, a legal procedure. So I would advise before you actually click that button to counter notify that you go to iancorzine.com, schedule a consult. We can go through the details of what legal rights you're giving up when you do that, or go to some other lawyer. I would just talk to a lawyer before I do a counter notification. We got Hell Rio. I'm going to love it when NFTs items could be transferable among video games depending on their genre. Yeah, that is what we were basically talking about today, was this article right here where it says gamers as NFTs, the next big thing in crypto and what our company's strategy is. The bottom line is there is technology out there by this website Powerboy GG, where in the near future he is going to tokenize the video game players. So what will happen is, let's say you play Call of Duty, you play Cyberpunk, all your high scores will go into the PowerPort GG, and you will be rewarded a number of power tokens for your victories that day. I mean, there's lots of different ways to measure it. Maybe your high score, the highest score in a day, some of the items you got when you played these games, and then you will be given these power tokens. Now, these power tokens will be valuable. They'll be valuable on cryptocurrency exchanges. They'll be valuable for other people, because you could actually give those power tokens to one of your friend players. He could use those power tokens to convert into governing tokens to be able to access various tournaments that you could win many, many more power tokens. So it's almost like like I said before, it's like fantasy football, but it's almost like being able to gain some value for your effort. And right now, video gamers, it says 3 billion gamers across the world. I think it's even more now, especially after the pandemic. They're just playing games for fun. Well, what if you could play games for fun and make some value, make some money off of it? That's what I wanted to highlight here, is that, listen, you may not be Ninja, you may not be the biggest, the most famous video game players in the world, but you may be able to make a living by offering your tokenization for Call of Duty. Let's just say you limit it to Call of Duty to someone else to invest in. And then what would be cool about this is that there'll be team owners out there who will pay you and 6 other people or 5 other people to be in a team tournament, and you will actually have those payments automatically transferred to you if you make certain hurdles, if you win against the other teams. So it is a great way, an egalitarian way, to be able to get people paid for the things that they spend so much time and enjoy. So really, really excited about that, and it's going to happen. Oh, this is it. Yeah. Marla, Annie, and I wish I could. Dubé is cool. Highly recommended. I'm following Ian too for years. I'm learning a lot from them. Yeah, Annie, that Marla mentions. If you would like to look at a YouTuber who really teaches you how to do all the things to be able to get viewers on YouTube, go to her channel. Thank you, Amal. Thank you so much. We got I thank you so much for a super chat from Type 1 Talks. Thank you so much. Could you give some strategy tips for first meeting with a bigger brand? They would like to cooperate and find ways on how we can help each other. Yes, I can, because this happens quite a bit. So what you think, first thing is put your mind or put yourself in the mind of the brand. Why have they found you? What have they seen of you? Sometimes it's statistics. Sometimes it's a referral. Sometimes it's that they saw you online. So that is the first thing. And then the second thing is, what are you going to offer them? Sometimes they just want sales. They'll give you an affiliate link and they just want you to sell their product or their service. But sometimes they're looking for a face of the brand, and they're concerned with sales, no doubt, but they're also just looking for a regular good guy to represent their brand. And so what can you do to present that? what you can do is be prepared, right? So to get all your stats out there, go to Social Blade, go to some of the other influencer sites where you get all your stats together and provide them, saying, this is what I can do for you. And then what I would do, and I recommend this multiple times, make a special video. You do it all the time, Type 1 Talks. You do these videos all the time, but make a special video for the brand. Now, if you're going to meet them face to face, bring the video, put it on YouTube and play it. Or if you're going to just do it online, send that video to them from Loom or something like that. And that will so impress the brand that you made a custom video. Some of us out there, don't realize what the extent of our audience is and how honored and how pleased people are when you can customize their experience. So I would plan this strategy out. I would get my stats out. Or first of all, I would think about what they want from me. I get my stats together in one sheet, and then I would do a custom video for them, kind of showing them what you're going to give them, what experience you're going to give them and their brand. That will go a long way to cementing a deal. And then I think the fourth thing you should do is just beware of those contract terms. And I'm happy to work with you in the future on that. A lot of these brands are from out of your country. So what does that mean? It means it's going to be hard to get paid if they fail to pay. So, because you can certainly bring a lawsuit, but it costs so much money. And some of these deals, $3,500, $10,000, it costs $25,000 to get a lawyer even interested in a breach of contract lawsuit, let alone all the money it's going to take to drag this brand from Switzerland to Australia. So you got to be aware of that. So the fourth tip is get a lawyer involved. And again, I've said this in my videos, make sure you get a deposit. You really want a deposit that covers your effort, your equipment used in the video, because you want to make sure you're paid. And even if there's a situation where you don't get paid the full amount, at least you have something in the deal. So a deposit is really important. All right, let's see here. Keo Ultimate Facepalm again. I like this gaming money. Hey, I do too. It says here, Silent Rage. Hi, Ian. Hi, room. Hope all's well. Just lurking for info. You're lurking out there, huh? All right. So let's see if there's anything what's coming in here. Okay, we're good on that. So yeah. So again, let's take it back to this. I want to talk again a little bit more about these gaming NFTs. So this particular guy, who's an awesome article writer, Aram Barnett, talks about that he wants to turn players' data into an NFT, which can be used to unlock value for billions of gamers around the world. Gaming is global, but the ability to generate value from in-game performance has yet to be brought to the mainstream. I agree. I mean, part of me is like, it's not revolutionary to think about tokenization of data, but it is revolutionary to think about this whole system could be free to enter and you could make a lot of value from it. So it goes on here to talk about the kind of the details. But once you set up an account on this Powerboard GG, it says here, a player can mint themselves. The minting process creates an NFT of the player and stores the account names that have been connected to the player's profile. This data is used as a reference for a Powerboard to call when a player joins a board. And then it says at this highlighted portion, the purpose of a Powerboard NFT is to grant the holder the right to use the game data it generates to enter tournaments and generate value from that performance. So you could actually sell not only your entire all your video game experience, but you could sell portions of the power tokens you get for various games or for various times or for various days. Again, when we're talking about this, we're not talking about controlling people. We're talking about basically monetizing portions of people's lives, the things they'd like to do to create art. So imagine that you were a great video game player. You played Fortnite really, really well. So you're well known, and some people really want those power tokens. You could just say, listen, for Saturday, I'm going to play 8 hours and I'm going to, be on the top of the leaderboard and I'm going to make this many power tokens and I'm going to, want an investor. So I'm going to, you can buy me for Saturday. In other words, it's almost like being paid per hour. So that's a way for a relatively unknown video game player to be able to monetize his experience. So I just think that's amazing. Let's see here. I wanted to bring up a couple more things in this article. It says here, A power board is a perpetual tournament where value is created by being the best player out of a group of your peers. These ongoing tournaments incentivize performance by awarding top players financial rewards in the form of tokens for maintaining their pole position. And then a power board is a smart contract that holds players' entry fees, maintains and updates a record of the current tournament standings, and creates and distributes rewards of tournament participants. So really, he's advocating that his site, powerboard.gg, is the one that it holds the smart contracts, but it's probably going to be, there's going to be a dozen sites out there that'll do the same thing, that will hold these smart contracts and allow players to benefit, financially. So it should be awesome. Let's see here. We got Keo, Ultimate Facepalm. It sounds like currency made from skilled effort in video games. That's exactly right. Yeah. We also got Silent Rage. Indeed, I am new to this NFT thing. Yeah, it's all new to all of us. We're all beginners, I think, for the most part, unless you're an NFT minter serially. But I think you got to start acknowledging it. And again, it's not limited to art. It's going to permeate our entire culture. So I'm excited about that. We got Amal saying, what's your opinion on binary trading through apps like Olympitrade, Bynamo? Well, to be honest, I'm not a huge investment advisor guy, so I probably don't have much of an opinion there. I know that, I use Coinbase, so that's about as far as it goes. That's how I get USDs into the cryptocurrency situation. Yeah, exactly. Instead of quarters going in, quarters coming out. Yeah, I think it's a reference to to the old days where you would actually have to pay a quarter, and actually now more, to play a video game. Yeah. We got Tipster. Woo! Hello, Ian. Long time no see. I love that graphic. That is awesome. You got to tell me who did that review. Good to see you, Tipster. I love your content. You always are at the cutting edge of all the news, and I'm so glad when you're on. It's great to see it. Okay, so that's good. We got our chat in there, and then so let's go on a little bit more on this smart contracts for video game players. This is the one that, here's the example that he provides. Bob and Alice are playing on a Fortnite power board where the best score is determined by the number of kills. Bob has a score of 10 and Alice has a score of 8. Alice gets 3 kills, which brings her to a score of 11. She overtakes Bob and becomes the leader of the power board. The next day, Alice begins in first place. And so she's going to win various power tokens for being the first place on that day. And then here is a discussion of kind of some of the details about it. Players can start or join a power board by paying GG, which is the governing token. And then players can earn power tokens, the reward token, by maintaining their pole position on a power board, which can be used to purchase other players. So, and then it says, so how GG works is players can commit GG to unlock a board in order to make power. The more players who commit GG to a board, the bigger the reward is. So what I equated to this too, I put it right here, is an ante, like in poker. So, what you could do instead of going to an online poker place or playing poker at your house, what you could do is have a video game. And there's, if you want to win, I'm going to make up the number, 5,000 power tokens with this battle, this Fortnite battle, you've got to ante up what they call the GG, which is going to be a token, an ante, a few token ante. And then the more expensive the tournament, the more ability you can win those power tokens, and those power tokens will have value off the platform. They could actually be traded in a public exchange. Okay, and then it says also, this governing token could be pre-swapped for power tokens at a rate of 1 GG to 10 power. So what you could do is you could actually, the more power tokens you could have, the more GG tokens you can convert them to, and then the more tournaments you could enter. And then it talks about the power tokens. Are the reward tokens earned by the power board participants? You can use power to buy players, which can opt to put on other power boards to earn more power. Power can be sold on an exchange for Ethereum or swapped for another token pair. Investors to determine the potential return on the player. So yeah, so that is that is the long and short. Marla, thank you so much for joining us. No problem. Anthony Goodley, so I could pay you for like a 15 or 30-minute phone consultation about my copyright questions. After getting a copyright strike, I want to make it into an NFT. Exactly. I know. It's that possible to do that. You can change your copyright strike into an NFT. Exactly. Yes. Just go to iancorzine.com. I recently changed my website. You'll see it. If you go to the upper right-hand corner, there is a book a consult, and you guys can book a consult with me. There, my calendar pops up, and you just schedule a time to talk about it. I do think it's an efficient use of your time because it's going to help you avoid copyright strikes in the future. And sometimes a copyright strike is just a indicative point of copyright strikes you may get in the future. I've had multiple creators come to me with large channels, many, many millions of subscribers, and they got a copyright strike. And the biggest concern was not that copyright strike. The biggest concern was that what they did to get that copyright strike, they've done 100 times in other videos. And so they're worried that 1 begets 2 begets 3. And if, as you guys know, if you get 3 copyright strikes, you are out of YouTube. You can't start another account. You're done. You got to start on another platform. So yes, of course, I'm always available to do that. All right, so we got Silent Reg and NFT prize pool kitty. I like that. Yeah, exactly. I think that's true. You could give NFTs as rewards for your video games. So yeah. It says here, Anthony is not a strike, laugh aloud. I own the copyright. Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought that was copyright strike. I can't read sometimes. So yeah, I just think that, guys, I'm going to do more and more videos about NFTs because I do think that they are the future for our digital interactions. They provide privacy, they provide speed, and they provide certainty. In other words, you enter into a contract on the blockchain and it's going to automatically take place. You're not going to have to worry about enforcing it. And what does that mean? It means less lawyers litigating, because there's going to be less disputes. You're going to know going into a contract to buy a car that when you put up 20 Ethereum or something, or 10 Ethereum, that they have to transfer the car. If they don't transfer the car, boom, then there is an issue, and you know that you're definitely in the right and they're definitely in the wrong. There's not some ambiguity. So I really do think that's the future, and I think that it's in all of our best interest to understand them right now and to get involved in it, so that we can actually get the opportunities that exist. And some of them exist by investing in some NFTs and then having them increase in value over time. So yeah, so that's where I've got to go right now. I got to take my daughter out, but I just want to say thank you so much for joining us in today's live stream. I love doing it on Saturdays. I'm going to start doing it regularly now. And we're going to talk more about everything you need to know to be a wonderful social media creator, as well as you need to be able to get paid. And one of the ways to get paid these days in a safe manner is through crypto, NFTs, and blockchain.